G'day guys, welcome back to another video of Mutiny Pirate Survival. How are we doing? Hope you guys are well. So today, what I want to do, something a little bit different, something I've been interested in doing for a little bit now that I've sort of caught on to this, and hopefully you guys will too. If you guys have already, great. If you guys haven't, hopefully this is the video for you. I am at the Luscious Island, specifically here for one reason. Why? Player progression in this game. A way for you guys to get yourself moving on onto bigger and better things at an easier pace. Now, you might ask, what do you mean by that? Well, there are certain things that we can get in this specific zone that we can't get anywhere just yet, that I found. Now, personally, I feel like this is probably the best way for us to travel on afterwards, if we obviously get time to over to the Dead Island, okay? Now, the Dead Island's a little bit of a harder zone. There's obviously fiercer animals, enemies, pirates, whatever you want to call them, they're all going to be in there. Here though, a little bit more tame. However, there are a few guys in here that I really want to focus on when we get into this. So basically, some of these guys can now drop some better weapons. And to use those better weapons and to stock them up more particularly, if you guys end up doing that, you guys will be able to move on to, say, the Dead Island and be able to go through that zone relatively easily if you guys use a little bit of strategy. So what I've done for this zone is that, let's quickly go and see what I'm wearing at the moment. As you can see, we've got some pretty worn down armor. That's to be expected, especially when you go into the new zones as well. So what I've also got is a small stone tomahawk and the wheel lock pistol. Now you can still do this if you have the pistol as well. So if it's still in here, I don't know if we still have it in here for us to see. No, we don't. Okay, so you can get one of the basic pistols if you do the Dead Man's Chest event, as you do with the wheel lock pistol. The reason why that I brought the wheel lock pistol, well, that's all that I have at the moment in my inventory back at base. So if you've guys got the copper one, you can use that as well. I'm rocking with the pistol, the wheel lock, so it'll be just that little bit easier for me to do what I need to do today. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to head in. May as well grab a few things while we're here as well at the same time. Okay, and we'll head over to find some of the main chests. Now obviously you will find yourselves in a situation where you may have to deal with certain enemies like this fella here that's coming over. Is what it is, deal with them and move on. And then okay, so this is where we want to be first. I want to see who we've got over here. So we've got a Corsair. We've got another Corsair over here. This is the guy that we want to focus on. So what we want to do here is let's coax this fella here. So we've got the Ocelot over here, and we've got this fella that's going to come after us over here. So let's get him out of the way, and let's do what we need to do with him. Okay, so sometimes it's going to be a little bit easier, other times it's going to be a little bit more difficult. I see this as one of the harder ones to do, because you do have a few of these guys here that are going to be giving you a bit of strife. So best thing to do is to just get out of range, come back and deal with this fella here and take him out. And now that I've attracted this fella here, we're going to hit him over as well. And the last fella I sort of want to look after is this fella over here. So we're going to get him to come over here. It is a bit of a pain, it is a cougar. Really don't want to deal with these guys predominantly, but it is what it is. There we go. Now, there's a couple of ways that you can attack this, okay? Number one is we can do the sneaky deaky and hit him with the wheel lock, or if you've got the heals or armor, health, all that sort of good stuff, then you probably want to use the first method, is to hit him from behind with the tomahawk or whatever weapon that you have. In my case, I'm going to hit him up with a wheel lock, and we're going to deal with this fella here. So far so good, because he hasn't come and killed us, but what he's come up with is some reasonable clothing and a weapon. Now this is not the weapon that I want to incite here for you guys to use. It's a good weapon, but it's not the weapon that we want to use. We're trying to find the guy that has the machete. I'm going to grab some of these because this is probably going to be beneficial for me. Okay, so we're going to move on, and we're going to find the fella that has the machete on hand. Now usually, if we're lucky, it should spawn in pretty much every time that you end up doing this. So okay, let's get this fella to come over here, and it's better to pick these guys out so you don't have all of them attacking you all at one given time. So that's my biggest recommendation. Get out of here, rascal, we don't need you. Alright, where is this fella? Is it this one over here? It is not. So we're just going to deal with these guys here real quick. Okay, and we'll see what's in here anyway. I may as well get the big chest while we're doing this. So yeah, okay, perfect. I'll do that. Okay, there's no one over here, and there is no one over here. Okay, so yeah, like I said, I want to find the guy that has the machete. Why? Because that machete does 300 damage. Okay, 300 damage as a normal attack, not even as a sneak attack. So if you do it with a sneak attack, you're going to get a better, a better attack, I guess. There he is over there. So you're going to have the ability to attack guys in harder zones, just so you can advance in those zones and pretty much get harder to get resources that you weren't able to get before. So I'm going to do method 1. You can do method 2, it's entirely up to you guys. But we're just going to go ahead and do it. And if you're quick enough, you might be able to get the jump on him and hit him. Don't get scared if he hits you. So long as you've got sufficient amount of heals, or you're fully healed up yourself, you shouldn't have a problem. Now, this is what we wanted. We wanted the 300 hit point machete. We got some pretty decent clothes at the same time as well, so I'm going to grab all of that. But this is what we came for. Even though that it's a broken down weapon, if you continuously run in and out of this zone and cycle between zones, coming back to this zone and getting the machete each and every time, you're going to get yourself a decent amount of equipment that's going to allow you to take yourself further when you do decide to come into those harder zones. So at least we've done that now. I can head back home and we can see if we can head over to the other zone, and I can give you a further explanation as to why I think the Luscious Island is a very, very important zone to go into. Now, obviously, prerequisites, you'll need to do the Dead Man's Chest event, obviously numerous times, to get any sort of ranged weapons like the pistol, the wheel lock pistol, so you've got that range usability, because you're not going to be wanting to use any melee with those guys because they do heavy damage and it's obviously not worth it. So that would be a prerequisite for all of you guys to do whilst you're carrying out your adventures here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw these things back into here for now. There hasn't been any raids ever since 0.06, so I'm not too particularly worried about any of this here at the moment. What I'm wanting to do is just illustrate a point with you guys today. So I'm just going to grab that and pop this over here, nearly up to the capacity that I can get myself the next level berth, which is good. I'm doing well with that, so I'm pretty happy with that so far. Alright, let's grab my loot container over here, drop it here, and as you can see, I've got a few of these bad boys. Okay, so where were we? Had a phone call, so I had to take that. Do apologise. But what I was referring to is that the Luscious Island is a good island to jump onto. Not only that you're going to get these machetes, you're also going to find some decent clothing. Admittedly, yes, they're not going to be full quality, but usable for certain applications. And it's those applications that you need to use those efficiently and effectively that will allow you to get ahead inside the game. You also find some copper knives as well, which is quite good, so I've stocked up on some of those as I've gone through it. Oh, I did have one of the handmade pistols, so you can get by with the handmade pistol if you guys really want to utilize that little weapon there as well. It might take a little bit longer for you to do what you need to do. You may need to run in and out of the zone from time to time just so you don't get killed or anything, but if you guys can do it, if you've done it once or twice, then you guys are going to be able to get those machetes and at a better frequency. You could even use the first machete that you get. You can leave the island, go to the nearest neighboring one, then run back, and then utilize that machete and do a sneak attack on that Corsair, because you're going to be able to one-shot them, and that's key as well, especially in the Luscious Island. You wouldn't have a problem with that. Right, so we're going to dump this back here. I'm actually just going to get some heals as well just before we head out, just in case. So we don't know exactly how good or how bad this may take, or what happens depending on the situation. I might take that with me actually. And I'll keep that with me for now. We've got the wheel lock, which is good, because the wheel lock is going to help us as well in certain applications. So actually I might just let's just do this real quick. Pop that there, take that here. Might be a little bit excessive only because I may not need it, but for the purpose of the video I just want to make sure that I am completely prepared. And yeah, there we go. Cool. Alrighty, let's head out, guys. Alright, so we'll get out of here and we'll head on over to the Dead Island. As I said before, just to remind you guys, make sure if you guys want to attempt to do this the way that I'm doing it at the moment, please make sure that you've done the Dead Man's Chest event, the time sensitive event that you guys get in your early stages of the game. You still get them even up until now, but just to ensure that you will get pistols, whether it's the handmade or the wheel lock, preferably wheel lock to make your life easier, because you can use the wheel lock while you're on the Dead Island. Notice that it's a 3 skull zone, the Luscious Island was a 2, and then obviously the Dead Man's Chest is your basic of basic islands that you can get pretty much free loot. Okay, so the reason why that we're here and we're wanting to come here quite continuously is, as we see here, we're going to do a quick switcheroo. I'm going to heal up probably more than what I should have, but that doesn't matter. You've got a Thrasher here, sorry, and we're able to take out half of his health. Okay, now we're not going to get that luxury now again to do a sneak attack on him, unfortunately. There we go. There's the Dead Man's Chest event there. That's what you need to do if you want to get the wheel lock pistol on hand. Now, speaking of which, we're going to switch over to that. We're going to get some clothing on us just in case, and we're going to go back in. Now, whether we respawn in the exact same location or not, this all depends on the game and what it's feeling. But if you want to go back to the same spot, then I suggest that you run back. As you can see here, I'm going to have to do just that. And as we do this, the reason why we want to come here is that we've got the next tier level of materials. You've got some sandstone and you've got some, walnut, okay, trees that you want to harvest. So they're the reasons why that you want to come down here. Here we go. He's going to come at us. The wheel lock is quicker than what he's utilizing. He may get a quick shot on you, but that's okay. So you've just been able to defeat him quite easily, quite convincingly as well. Only used a little bit of health, and if you're smart enough and if you've done your herbal heals and things like that, I think you're going to be doing just fine. So let's do this again. There we go. So I was able to one hit that Thrasher there. Let's see if we can go and get this guy as well. If we sneak our way through without alerting the other fella, we can do very much the same here, and we're one hitting these guys. Now you won't get a lot of good items from those Thrashers, but you're going to be able to open up chests just like this, and you get some pretty good stuff. And not only that, but you do get the walnut trees that you get to play with as well, that you get to harvest. So that's the other thing. Even though that you weren't able to get him all in one hit, 2 hits with the machete and you're going to be just fine. Now, this is where I'm sort of talking about here, that if you repeat doing the Luscious Island, this is going to give you more opportunities to get machetes. Therefore, you guys can stock up, have a few on hand, come into these zones and just have a good old time. You'll be able to clear the zone quite easily if you do it in this sort of method. Now, a lot of people might have different methods, different ways of doing it. This is the way that I sort of like to do it myself personally. But if you guys have any other suggestions, let me know in the comments, because I'll be happy to hear. Well, let's get out of here real quick. So we've got a bit of a leg up on that trasher there. We're not going to hit him just yet. Oh, it's just a rascal. Oh no, the trasher's there. Hang on. Let's jump out. Now, the reason why I'm strategically running out of the zone, running back into the zone, is only because the zone resets. He's not on your tail, and at least this way you can come back in. Because you haven't hit him yet, you've still got the opportunity to do a sneak attack, and you may get him in 1 hit. So if that's the case, great. If you have to do it in 2 hits, you have to do it in 2 hits. It is what it is. So let's just come over here. We've got another, well, we've got a mature puma here, so we can hit him if we want. We can use the wheel lock, whatever is easier for you guys. Before he hits you again, you've got him and it's done. No, I didn't want to use that. Oh, I shouldn't have used that. That's okay. But yeah, so I'm guessing you guys now get the idea, the reason why that I'm wanting. Did I hit you once before? Really? Okay. Well, fair enough. And let's just hit you anyway. There we go. I wish we got some of your clothing, my friend, but that isn't meant to be. And as I said before, this opens up a lot of the zone for you just by doing these simple things. And look at that, I've got more. I've got some of that. Let's go ahead and wear that anyway. And as I said, you've got some sandstone here that you might be able to get your hands on. You can get it in other islands as well if you want to head out that way to get sandstone in particular. But for Walnut, this is the place that you need to come to in order for you to get enough so you guys can advance your workstations, everything else in between, so you guys can get to the next level. So I hope you guys have found this interesting, helpful, beneficial. Let me know in the comments what you think about this one here. If there's any other suggestions that you'd like to make in between, then drop them in the comments, because that's not only going to help me, myself specifically, but everyone else that might be watching this video. So any information is good information in my book. So if you guys can do that, then guys, do it. Now, this is the other thing I wanted to sort of quickly talk about, is taking down these gorillas. Don't be scared with these fellas here, because predominantly you guys should be able to outrun these guys, even if you don't have any clothing or footwear that's going to enable you to run that a little bit faster. So you guys will have the ability to continuously hit this fella with the pistol and take him out. Here comes the standard one that comes in here from time to time. And if you keep doing this as well, you're not going to have any problems in taking them out. And obviously the spoils is that you do get the next tier of leather. Okay, so I need that personally so I can upgrade some of my workstations as well. So that's the reason why I'm doing it here. Ideally, what I wanted to have done is I wanted to sneak up behind one of them and hit him with the machete, because that's going to draw out more hit points away from the gorilla, and this will allow me to shoot him down easy without using more of the wheel lock pistol that you've just seen there. So if I can, I might sneak and see if I can open up this little lootable chest, and maybe the next one. Let's see how we go. Actually, what I might do is I might quickly heal up just in case. And hey, there you go. Lucky me. Okay, we've got some of that. I'm not going to worry about the cotton because I do have some cotton back at base, so I'm not going to be too worried about that. But can we find any other gorillas? Maybe? Yes, we can, mate. Okay. Now, all important question. Who is this over here? Of course you're a trasher. So this is going to be a little bit harder, because if I hit the gorilla, I'm assuming that I'm going to aggravate the Trasher as well, but let's see how we go. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Okay. And if I'm quick enough, like I said, I don't want to deal with more than one enemy at a time. If it's a rascal or a watchman or someone of that lower tier, then sure, I'll probably deal with them both at the same time. Especially if I've got a gorilla. The gorillas are quite slow, so you'll be able to get some distance between the two. And as we head back into the zone here, everything's reset. Now the gorilla's going to aggravate straight away because I've already done that preliminary sneak attack. So again, let us hover around over here. See if we can get the attention. Here we go. And here we go. Okay. So we nearly took probably close to 900 hit points away from this gorilla on the first hit, which was great. And as you can see, if you do it correctly, you'll be able to kite this fella around the map and receive minimal to no damage. And every time, he's going to give you 3 sturdy hides. So you may as well bank that. You may as well bank the gorilla fangs as well, because once you've unlocked the north, then you'll be able to do your trading and things like that, which is obviously a good thing. So there's that. So again, some helpful tips, only because you guys obviously deserve it, and hopefully it's really helped you guys out. That's what I'm hoping for. That's my aim with this video here, to get you the right information, the factual information, and the right way of doing things that I believe is probably the best and most efficient way in doing it. Again, if you guys have a better way of doing it, or if you have a better method of climbing the game itself and going through all the motions and things like that, drop them in the comments. Let me know what your feedback is, because again, sharing is definitely caring. And for a lot of you guys that are struggling with the game, I'm hoping this has helped. I'm hoping this has given you a way to sort of operate in the game, and you guys can advance in the game and enjoy it a lot better without having to give up, of course. So we're going to go ahead and leave it here today. I want to know your thoughts, so drop them in the comments. Hit the like button. If you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell icon so you don't miss out on any future videos. Alrighty guys, take it easy, and as always, I will catch you guys next time.